students. Dear students, we are already know about the poem. So many poems we are already finished. So before going to start the poem, so I'm just wanted to remember you that so in the last month we have finished the first term syllabus. So that is 4 poems and 4 lessons and 2 supplementary reading. So you already finished the exams also. And now we are started. I'm started for second term syllabus. So as usual in this term we have the same 4 lessons and 4 poems and 2 supplementary reading and also grammar. So grammar is very important. And so you have to up to date, you have to watch the videos without fail. If you are so unable to watch those videos, so in the next day you can so follow up the videos. Okay, this is the request. It is a humble request because exams are coming. So maybe from March or from April or something, so the date will be so released within this month, so that you have to be prepared and you have to be concentrate on your studies. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you have to come to the school and clear your doubts. Okay, so 10th standard students, this poem is for 10th standard students. That poem is name is so Ballad of the Tempest. Ballad of the Tempest, written by James T. Field. Okay, James T. Fields. So before going to start the poem, I am just going to introduce the poet James T. Fields. Okay, James T. Fields was born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on December 31st, 1817 and named James T. Field. The family later added the years. His father was a sea captain and died before Fields was 3. He and his brother were raised by their mother and her siblings. Their aunt Mary and uncle George. At the age of 14, Fields took a job at the Old Corner bookstore in Boston as an apprentice to publishers Carter and Henry. His first published poetry was included in the Portsmouth Journal in 1837, but he drew more attention when on September 13, 1838, he delivered his anniversary poem to the Boston Mercantile Library Association. In addition to his work as a publisher and essayist, Fields wrote poetry. A number of his works are collected in his book Ballad and Verses, published in 1880. This volume contains the poem Ballad of the Tempest, which includes the famous lines, "We are lost," the captain shouted as he staggered down the stairs. Okay, so this poem is written by James T. Field. So it was basically from Portsmouth. He was born on December 1817, 31st. December 31st, 1817. So he was, so at the age of 14, Fields took a job at the Old Corner bookstore in Boston as an apprentice to publishers Carter and Henry. Okay. So in this poem, so it is a heart-melting story. Okay, this is a heart-melting story. This is a heart-touching story. It is a very it exhibits the innocence of a child. Okay, let us start the poem. So read the poem first. Fortune favors the brave is an oft quoted statement. Even Columbus had a lot of faith in the Almighty, but it is true of everybody. everybody. Now listen to a poem where the sailors face a great peril. See whether someone will come to their rescue or not. Read the poem. So fortune favors the brave is an oft quoted statement. Fortune means what? So that is luckiness, or someone who is always lucky, someone who is always blessed. Okay, if they are doing something that always results, it would be always success. Okay, if a person is brave, if a person is bold, so he is doing something, it is always gives the success. So fortune always favors the brave. So this is the quote. So with starting this quote, we will start the poem. We were crowded in the cabin, not a soul would dare to sleep. It was midnight on the waters and a storm was on the deep. It is a fearful thing in winter to be shattered by the blast and to hear the rattling trumpet. Thunder cut away the mast. So we shadowed there in silence, for the stoutest held his breath, while the hungry sea was roaring and the breakers stopped on death. As thus we sat in darkness, each one busy with his prayers, we are lost, Captain shouted. As he staggered down the stairs, but his little daughter whispered, as she took his icy hand, isn't God upon the ocean, just the same as on the land? Then we kissed the little maiden and we spake in better cheer, and we anchored safe in harbour when the moon was shining clear. So how beautiful poem it is. So a helpless child, okay, helpless people, they are on the ship, they are going to fishing, they went to fishing. Now we were crowded in the cabin, not a soul would dare to sleep. It was midnight on the waters and a storm was on the deep. Here, storm means, so it is a air. Storm. That means birugani. So my Kannada is not good, so don't worry. Okay? So birugani. So we were crowded in the cabin. So the people, many people, they are in the ship. They are on the ship in the cabin. A small room, a small office. So they are in the office. They are in the cabin. Not a soul would dare to sleep. No one. So many people are there, but no one have the braveness to sleep, because they are in the middle of the sea. It was midnight on the waters. It was clearly midnight. So in the midnight, so the people, many people, they are in the middle of the water. Not a soul would dare to sleep. No one can have the braveness to sleep, because so much of storm was flowing and they are in the middle of the water. It was midnight on the waters and a storm was on the deep. A storm is a big storm. It was coming towards the ship. It is a fear thing in winter to be shattered by the blast. To be shattered means to break apart. So with the force of that storm, everyone felt that we are not able to live. So we are just dying with this forceful storm. And to hear the rattling trumpets. Trumpets means a violent storm, a forceful, a dangerous storm. It is come towards the ship. Thunder means gudugu. and cut away the mast. Mast means, so there is a big, it is a stick. It is on the ship. So, okay, I'll just draw it. So it is in the beginning. So it is a stick. It is in the ship. Okay. So I'm not a good drawing teacher. I just show you. So like this, it is in the ship. Okay. So in the office, everyone was sitting. So it was cut down. It was cut down. So with the forceful storm, with the effect of the forceful storm, the mast, it was cast down. It was cut down. So he shuddered there in silence, for the stoutest held his breath. So shudder means shake. Shudder means shake. So we shuddered there in silence. Everyone silent. When the mast was cut down, everyone was silent. So there is a silence in the ship. For the stoutest held his breath. Stoutest means brave. So held his breath. Everyone was feared. Everyone was shocked. They are in fear. While the hungry sea was roaring and the breakers topped with death. Breakers means large waves. The large waves. They are talking about the death of the people who are there in the ship. Okay. So while the hungry sea, the poet is giving the comparison to the sea to the hungry sea. It was so hungry, so that it is eagerly waiting to take the lives of the people in the ship. As thus we sat in darkness, each one busy with his prayers. So everyone was sat on the ship. So and also everyone was busy with praying. Please save us, oh God, or oh say God, please save us. Everyone was busy with their prayers. We are lost, the captain shouted. Captain is one person who have so much of brain. Comparatively, other people comparatively, he have the most powerful and he is the bravest person in the ship. Okay, he knows everything. How to go and where to go and how to control the ship. He knows everything. But being a captain, he himself were telling to the other people that we are lost. When the people heard the captain's voice, so they lost their hopes. Okay, they literally lost their hopes. Captain, he is the one person who saves the life of the people and who is the responsible for the lives of the other people. But being a captain, he is telling to the other people that so we are lost. The captain was shouted. As he staggered down the stairs, so he is staggered, so he is come down. He is on the ship and he comes down and he told to other people. But his little daughter whispered, his captain's little daughter, innocent child. Okay, innocent child, and she is the one girl who have the hopes. After the captain is telling that, so we are lost, but still this girl, this innocent child have the hopes that, so as she took his icy hand, so the icy hand, so they lost their hopes, they lost everything and they are busy with their prayers. The hands are totally icy hands with the shivering. So she took his icy hand. That girl took the captain's hands and isn't caught upon the ocean. very innocent child. She is asking, she is telling that, isn't God upon the ocean? So, samudradalli devru ilva? So, she is asking. So, we know that God is everywhere, right? So, that innocent child is asking to his father that, isn't God upon the ocean? Just the same as on the land. So, in the land, we have seen so many gods, right? So, like that, isn't God upon the ocean? She is telling, innocent child. She is. Then we kissed the little maiden and we spake in better cheer. So, after asking this question, isn't God upon the ocean? Devru ilva samudradalli, ee samudradalli devru ilva? She is asking to his father. Then we kissed the little maiden. Suddenly, the ship, that means indirectly, God saves the life of that people. Maiden here means little girl. Little girl, everyone kissed her and we spake in better cheer. So they spoke in a better cheer because so that little girl indirectly saved the life of the people. We anchored means metal device attached to the ship or boat by cable and cast overboarded to hold it in a particular place. We anchored safe in harbor. So they back to the land, okay, where the moon was shining. So after reaching the harbor, the morning was welcoming them. So this is the poem Ballad of the Tempest. This poem is memorization. You should be memorize this poem. It is very easy. So if you understand it clearly, it is very easy to learn and it is very easy to memorize. Okay, you should memorize this poem. Okay, hope you understand.